Hi, guys. Welcome back. It's Suzanne Wachtel, Living Your Best Life podcast. Today, I wanted to really um, just talk about what it is to go to therapy, be a therapist, what I do, kind of how I help people. So there's different kinds of psychotherapy, which is really, there's different strategies, there's different styles. I would say that I am more of an eclectic style, which means I do talking, I do a lot of listening, and sometimes we go into the past a little bit just to find out where the source of what's going on perhaps came from, because it does help to identify how it's affecting your life today. So, to me, therapy, I started going at around 23 when I got divorced for the first time. And it really helped me to organize my feelings, organize my thoughts, and really help me with my anxiety and give me like a structured strategy to help me deal with things I was going through. So when people come to me for therapy, at first I usually, introduce myself. I want them to introduce themselves, and then we pretty quickly get to the reason why they're coming to therapy. Often, um, they're just feeling that they don't know what to do. It could be because of a relationship, it could be a parent, it could be a job, it could be children, it could be any kind of situation, financial. Um, and so we try to kind of pinpoint what's going on and how it is affecting them day to day. And so when that happens, um, I like at times I would do some hypnotherapy and have them do a relaxation. Other times we may just talk it through and come up with options of how to deal with it. And sometimes it takes a little time to get to know one another. So we form a bond and a relationship. At times, I will share, if it's relatable, something in my life that I may have gone through that is similar to what they are going through, and I may share the positive result of how it all worked out. Um, Sometimes people come in because, they can't connect, say, with their family, and they're feeling a little bit isolated or out of touch, like they almost don't belong. And then we talk about, well, how can you relate to family when you feel that you're in a different space than them? Often I have couples. Sometimes one of them or both of them can't get along. They cannot really on their own figure out how to communicate, how to get to the root of the problem. Often there's a power struggle, and it's about first figuring out if there's still love there and if they want to be together. And then it's about coming up with ways to communicate and help each other feel loved. Sometimes we talk about the love languages. Sometimes we talk about a misunderstanding. Um, Sometimes couples grow apart and have different interests. And my goal, is to really try and help them find out if they want to stay together, and if they do, how to make that happen. When you meet someone and years go by and time goes by, often your interests and goals change. So it's about coming back together, perhaps reinventing yourselves. Um, Sometimes people come in and their job is being eliminated and they feel like an identity crisis. Like, now what are they going to do? How are they going to start? And then, we talk about the feelings of loss. And then we talk about, well, what would you love to do every day? I had a young man come in and he hated his job. He was so depressed. I would say he was probably late 20s, very unhappy. And in this particular job, it was corporate. He felt stuck. He felt really, really depressed. So we started to do some poking and inquiring, and it turned out I asked him, what do you love to do? If you had a dream job, what would it be? Turns out he adored and was very, very talented at tennis. So I said, well, did you ever think we're in South Florida where you can play year round? And imagine if you're that good, there's so many private schools that I'm sure would be delighted to have you as a coach. P.S. He applied to a few in Boca Raton, and he has been teaching and coaching tennis at a beautiful private school since then. Not only that, he became happier. He attracted a relationship. We worked on how to do that. And the result of the story is he's in a job he loves. He's feeling fulfilled, content, and purposeful. And he's in a relationship and he's in love. So these are the types of things that can be resolved. People come to me when they lose a loved one. And if you've never lost a loved one that you're very bonded to, a child, a parent, a partner, a pet, it doesn't matter. When you have that pain of grief, it's very difficult to know what to do. So I often help people get through the struggles of loss and grief and find their joy again. It does take time. And you know what? Sometimes people need to understand that it's normal and okay to feel sad, to feel, to cry, that it's okay. And over time, it will improve. Everything is temporary. And hopefully, you will improve and find your joy again. So there are so many different scenarios, from teenagers leaving their family home and going off to university by themselves, having to deal with mean girls and sororities not accepting you, having to deal with the challenges of not having the comfort of your family. Um, Also, people that are independent, their friends are getting married, they're now in their 30s, and, how to reinvent yourself, career, relationships, finding your happy place. I mean, my goal in my life, through the ups and the downs, I try not to have an attachment to what's going on with everybody in my life, from my family to my spouse to my children to my patients. I want to be there for all of them, but I don't necessarily need to feel what they're going through. So I work very hard in maintaining my happy place, my joy, and doing things to keep Suzanne stabilized, happy, joyful, with purpose. So I totally believe in therapy. I totally believe in figuring it out with a person who has experience and knowledge and education in psychology and therapy technique. And I do think it really helps. I know when I hit a wall or I'm having a struggle or a challenge, talking to someone really is like magic. It helps. Listening to podcasts, listening to positive affirmations, going to yoga, doing things that bring you joy, baking a cake, going for a walk in nature. All of these tools help. So it's about knowing that life happens and things do come up throughout your life, but accumulating and building tools and coping styles and coping strategies, and also a support system, hugely important. So go out and find a therapist. So you can find them on Psychology Today, putting in your zip code. It'll give you a huge list of all the therapists and different types in your area. Word of mouth is my favorite. Ask your friends who you know believe in therapy and you've watched improve with therapy, and ask them who they would recommend. And I'm telling you, in a very short time, with motivation, you will feel great. So that's what I do all day long, and I get to do it. I love my job. I get to help people. I get to hear their secrets and their stories, and I get to keep them in my vault, and I'm honored to do the job I do. I love what I do. I didn't go back to school till my 30s and didn't start practicing till 40. But through those years, I also went to my own therapy so that I would have the experience and wisdom and awareness and knowledge of how it feels to be vulnerable with someone else. So go get yourself a therapist and treat yourself. It is the most wonderful gift you can give yourself, and you deserve it. You really do. Have a beautiful day, guys. Bye bye.